Hey there, beautiful souls. Welcome to today's message. And today is going to be another one coming straight from my life and my journey. And I've done a lot of deep reflective work today that I kind of just wanted to share with you guys. And today we're back on my favorite topic around particularly intimate partnership, relationships. So I'd love to hear from you guys as we dive into today's message. I love hearing your experiences, your challenges, your successes, any words of wisdom that you have to contribute to this message and this topic. Let's make this a co-creative space as per usual. And so for today's message, just to have whether or not you're in an intimate partnership. So if you are, think about your current intimate partnership. If you're not currently in an intimate partnership, then think about your previous relationship or relationships and reflect on how this might add up for you in order to either take your current relationship to a whole new level of depth of love and connection and fulfillment and all of that beautiful stuff. Or if you're not yet in a relationship currently, to take your next relationship into, just kind of start it off at the highest possible level with really beautiful intentions about the quality of the love and connection that you are choosing to co-create with that special someone that you have selected. So today's message, I want to talk about codependency a little bit because I know that's a lot of our journeys. I know for myself, that was the majority of my intimate partnerships have been, particularly in the past, like very codependent. And before I knew anything about personal development, before I even knew what the hell codependency actually was, and I was taught that when I saw a psychologist at one point in my life, many moons ago. It was back, gosh, it was a long time ago, but at a different point in my journey where basically, I had all sorts of things in my life, from my relationships, my friendships, my career path, kind of all at once kind of be hit, and my whole identity shifted. And at that time, I went and saw a psychologist to get some support, to get some help. I was feeling, I was in a lot of situational depression, as I call it, like where everything that you've identified within your external world comes crashing down, and you kind of have to have this real shake-up of your whole identity, working out who you are within. And at that time, I'll never forget this psychologist who was incredibly helpful to me to just, have somebody to express my inner world with. And she actually basically said to me at the time, she drew this circle on a page, and she said, "That's you and your partner," my ex-partner at the time. And we were just this one circle. And she said, in order to be healthy, you need to be, and she basically drew these two circles with this little bit in between kind of overlapping on one another. And basically that was my first introduction to what on earth codependency was. So basically codependence is when, you become one another, right? Your circles overlap. There is no separation of identity. You're totally intertwined with this other person. And it can be a very falsely safe, but also very terrifying place, because you lose your sense of self and don't know who you are without this other person. And to the extreme level in which I had it, back when I was in my early 20s, with that partner, basically got me to the point where I didn't even want to leave the house without him, so I had, it was pretty extreme, right? And so over the years of learning that, and at the time when I learned that, I was separating out of that relationship, so it was a pretty big deal, to find my own circle, basically. And over the years, as I entered new relationships, I found myself coming back into similar dynamics, yet not as unhealthy or unresourceful, right? I was evolving from that position, but still lessons to learn. And today, what I wanted to talk to you guys about is actually the art of meeting your needs healthily within an intimate relationship without falling into codependency. And the reason why I wanted to have this conversation with you guys today is because, it's been a major area of focus and growth for me. And I've had to have times throughout my journey over these last 17 years or so in intimate partnership. I've had to have periods of time where I've had to kind of come out of relationship and develop more of my own circle, right? And really make that my focus so that when I re-enter intimate partnership, I don't just become, this intertwined circle all the time, right? And what I've found is as I've developed like the strength of my own circle, the fulfillment of my own needs within my circle, I've kind of now what's happening for me right now is actually finding a way in which I can come into partnership, and it's kind of like, it's almost gone the other way, right? Like, it's like, well, how do we get that crossover? So, it's less likely that it's going to be a codependent space, but because I've developed on the other side, now it's finding an integration, right? It's finding what I'm calling today the art, right, of having your needs met within intimate partnership without succumbing to codependency and without being these two very individualized human beings who meet their needs externally from the relationship. And what I'm really coming up with right now throughout my experiences is that you can go too far into independence, right? And when we are meeting our needs externally outside of our relationships, what it actually does is it ends up potentially robbing the opportunity for building trust, openness, and depth in your intimate partnership, right? Because why? All right. When you have gone from codependence, where it's like, oh my gosh, like everything is connected to this other person, right? And it's, you can't meet your own needs and you're always hanging off to meet your needs through this other person, and anything they do or anything tone of voice they use, like it impacts you directly, and you're so intertwined on all these different levels. When you go on the journey of building your own circle, building your own independence, what happens is there's a big part of you that feels so secure in the opportunity that you've created for yourself to meet your own needs, that then coming back into partnership, there's a part of you that can fear losing what you've created. And what happens as a result, whether we're conscious of this or not, and generally these are unconscious behaviors, and then obviously when we can have a conversation about them and discuss them, then maybe we'll make some better choices. But what can happen is we can stay as these individuals, meeting our needs externally from the intimate partnership, feeling validated in our growth and our independence, right? That's been the absolute necessary next leg of our developmental journey. But then what happens is we don't bring a degree of vulnerability back to the intimate partnership by allowing the conversation of needs to come to the table, and to also an openness and a willingness to get vulnerable courageously and share what your needs may be. And, it opens you up to potential, hurt or rejection, right? Because you don't know how your partner may respond to you, particularly in the very early days. But basically, that's how trust and safety and security in intimate partnership are developed. We have to be able to risk rejection, conflict, hurt, all of those things in order to develop the level of trust, safety, and security that is required in intimate partnership for us to be able to go the depths of what is possible in a sacred union, right? And to me, this has been a major shift. And to me, it's about kind of like removing the armor that you've gathered that's been required for you to exit out of the one circledness, right, of that codependence where you were just all open, and so open that you merged so much with another that you lost your sense of self. As you develop your independence and your own strength in your own circle, you actually gather some armor, boundaries, right? Discernment, strength on the battlefield, basically, right? And that's all absolutely necessary and required. But then what has to happen is we basically need to get to this next level of being able to now remove some of that armor, right? Which we're going to chink up against one another with and see that it's there, right? And remember, it's always easy to see another person wearing armor, but remember, you only find their armor when it hits up against yours. So you're better off looking at your own armor and having the courage and the confidence and the openness to something grander being able to be accessed if you have that courage to remove some of that armor when you become aware of it, so that you can open up vulnerably and allow this other person to build trust with you. Because if you don't have that, if you're two very individual people who just meet your needs comfortably and safely externally, and you don't express what your needs are with this person and open up for them to be able to meet that need for you or with you in a healthy way, you're really robbing the relationship of the opportunity for the depth of sacred connection that is available to you. All right, and then you just end up having this this habitual role-playing partnership between two individuals who have defensive walls and oftentimes are at warring odds with one another, right? That's not a fun relationship to me anymore, right? Like the drama of it all, the wounding of it all, that's not what I'm up for, right? And I hope you're not as well, right? And so basically it's looking at the quality, the vision of that love, of the sacredness of your union. And one of the things that I've come to realize over my years of experience at this point has been that I used to not value certainty or security all that much, right? And now, as I reflect back through my history, I can see how my lack of value or prioritization of the safety, security, and certainty in partnership actually robbed me of the opportunity to feel so trusting and open with my partner that we could experience, the absolute depths of love, and that's possible in a sacred union, right? That's between individuals who are willing to be open and vulnerable and put their hearts out there fully and allow their needs to be met and exceeded in the container of their intimate partnership, so that they can be free to overflow into all other areas of their lives, right? When we don't have that safety and security in that container, we can only go so deep. Basically, we limit the depth of that connection because there's fear, there's insecurity there, and therefore there's walls, there's armor, and basically, to be able to transition from independence into that interdependent stage where you can obviously take 100% responsibility for your own sense of well-being. But part of that is being able to open to another and vulnerably communicate what your needs are and allow them to come into that space so that you can actually build that trust with them. And then what opens up for you is the possibility of exploring the divine at a whole new level through partnership, through intimate depth of connection, right? That you can't do just solo, right? And so that's the beauty that opens up. And for me, that is my reason why I have the courage to open up and express so openly and vulnerably. And I wrote down these quick steps for you guys that I'm taking in my own life, just to ensure that my strong circle has the openness to be able to include that really healthy aspect of that middle ground with another. Okay, and so basically this is what I'm deeming the art of meeting your needs healthily within your intimate partnership without falling into codependency. Okay, so making sure that your strong circle can overlap with theirs in a really healthy, beautiful way, where you open up this portal that wouldn't have otherwise existed if it was just you on your own. And it opens up this transcendental portal in order to experience life, to experience sacred union, to experience the divine in some major way that, again, wouldn't be fully possible just as yourself, right? That's the reason why. So number one, in order to really help yourself to meet your needs in your intimate partnership and also have your partner obviously meeting their needs within the container of your intimate partnership and establishing that trust so that you can go the depths and the heights of intimate partnership and your limitless potential in love, number one, you've got to have clarity over what is the highest standard for loving partnership that you're committed to taking full responsibility for. You have to make this commitment to yourself first and foremost, that you will not settle for mediocrity, that you will not settle for the old paradigm of loving partnership that is, these two individuals who are defensive with walls up, with, meeting their needs externally at the sacrifice of what is potentially available to you in terms of deepening love and trust and security and safety in that intimate partnership, so that you can fully open to who you actually are without any limitations in that respect, so that you can be free, right? That's freedom. Freedom is being all of who you are, right? Expressing and sharing and deepening and discovering all of who you are in partnership with others, right? So having that clarity, what is that higher standard for loving relationship or partnership that you're committed to for yourself, that you will not settle for anything less for yourself, honoring who you are, honoring your potential in life and in love, all right? So you got to start with that. That's basically your why. And if you don't have that, you just fall into the easy path of having walls and protecting and robbing yourself of an opportunity for depth of connection. Number two, you've got to have, and this is what I didn't have for many years of intimate partnership, which is a connection, a real connection to your inner world of feelings as feedback, right? If you don't have connection to your emotions, you don't actually understand what's true for you, right? Emotions are feedback, right? And so when we deepen into our self-awareness work, when we deepen into understanding and being able to discern and decipher what our emotions are, what triggered them, what are the meanings that we're creating, what are the experiences that we're having, and rather than over-identify with the emotion as such, we utilize that as feedback to let us know. It's like our internal compass. This feels right and this doesn't feel right. And what is that? Like, to explore that, right? Leading to step 3, which is self-awareness, to discern between your deeper wounding that requires healing on your part to take responsibility for, and discerning between also the boundaries that are in need of expression, right? What do you need to communicate, right, with your partner about this? What healing is coming up for you? What triggers are coming up for you that are pointing to your unhealed wounds that you're potentially projecting into this situation, and you want to be able to discern about that? And what's really coming up in this situation that needs addressing with your partner, because nobody's a mind reader, right? You are an individual. They are an individual. You have different requirements. You have different needs. You have different triggers, right? And so it's your responsibility to communicate. And that brings us to step 4, which is the courage to vulnerably and openly express your true emotions, your wounding, right? Even though you're taking responsibility for it, it's the expression of it and the responsibility of that. your boundaries and your needs, and offering a clear solution, right? Like instead of just dumping emotion, dumping hurt, dumping your wounding on another, you really, in order to be that strong circle that you bring and contribute to a relationship, you want to be able to do this deep work within yourself to find clarity and ask yourself, like, what is the solution here? What could my partner help and support me with here? What could be the very thing that could allow me to invite them in from a place of open love, vulnerability, trust, and courage, to invite them into this space so that we can deepen into the trust and the depth available to us, so that we have this beautiful container in which to use as that portal into something grander than just ourselves, right? So this is a beautiful opportunity to do that. Then number 5 is to offer freedom and time to your partner to discern after you've shared this, to really be able to have their space, their time, their freedom, to really to feel into what feels true and aligned for them, and to clarify what they're willing to do with the truths that you've shared, right? Okay, so you have to, you don't want to force your partner to do anything that doesn't align with them, because all that leads to is resentment, disconnection. You're sacrificing the trust of your relationship anytime you try and control, manipulate, or force your partner to do anything that's not true for them. But what is your responsibility is to get really clear on what's true for you, and you must have such a level of commitment to that highest quality of love and that standard of love and loving partnership. You have to have that so strong that you're willing to have the courage to be vulnerable and risk rejection, risk conflict, to be able to communicate truthfully about what your needs are, what your wounding is, and what solutions are available. And you can invite your partner to see and give them the freedom and the space to be able to clarify whether that is true and aligned for them. And if it's not true and aligned for them, if you guys, then maybe that you have a different solution. Maybe that opens up the pathway to develop and co-create this space together, because you are different people, right? And maybe it might be that you guys just aren't aligned with the same standard of quality of relationship that you're after. Or there might be a whole other magnitude of different reasons why that might not be the case, right? But the important aspect is to open up to these opportunities to establish that trust and that safety and that security, because it absolutely is the foundational piece that must be laid if you do want to use intimate partnership as a portal to the divine, as a portal to something grander than just yourselves, and to leave behind the old paradigm of relationship where we just play roles and, do surface level things in each other's lives and stay these defensive wall and individuals, right? But if you're after something that is much more sacred in your union, then I hope that these steps are going to be helpful for you. And the last final step, the 6th step here, and I'll put a post out for you guys if you want to have these in words so that you can reflect over it a bit and see if it'll fit for your intimate partnership. So you can let me know if that would be good for you. But step 6 is the choice and the decision made that utilizes this challenge as an initiation towards the deepening love, trust, and honor of the sacredness of your union as a place that is fueled by limitless potential, limitless love, and a quality of leadership. Okay, so I know that's a mouthful. This is my kind of, work that I'm doing in my life as I re-enter an old relationship that is now a new one as the human beings that we have grown and developed into. And, I've just reached this point of the importance of being really intentional in intimate partnership, and I know how easy it is to lose trust, right? To wound instead of heal, to collect so many wounds and so much hurt that you jeopardize and ruin the potential of the love that's available to you. And the weird thing is that we tend to fear the very thing that we most yearn for, right? Which is the safety and security of the commitment to intimate partnership, that I'm not going anywhere. We're in this together, right? And with another growth-induced person who's willing to take this responsibility and open courageously and vulnerably to the depths of their wounding, to the depths of their emotion, to the depths of their needs, and take responsibility for that, and open to you so that you can establish the depth of trust required for the sacredness of your union. So that's my message for you guys today, and I definitely hope that it has resonated with you guys, and I always love hearing from you, so I definitely want to check in with the comments and see who's been able to join me today. So please do say hi, and let me know where in the world you're tuning in from. I always love that, considering I haven't been able to travel for the past 2 years, and it's driving me crazy wanting to get out of Australia and explore. So I love just living vicariously through wherever the hell you guys are from, which is great. And yeah, any words of wisdom that you have on this topic or any questions, you guys know I love all of that stuff. So let me check in. And I've got Aoni and Joel and Judith and Ram. Hello to you. Grateful that you're finding some awesomeness here. Tim, good to see you. A beautiful and very valuable message here. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you and being on this co-creative journey with me. And Haru, shine on, Divine One. Much love and gratitude. Much love and gratitude coming right back at you, my friend. And Bill's here. Awesome. And Andrew, hello to you. And Elf and Daryl from the Great White North. Always loving it when you're here. And thank you for your kind words. And Kate's here as well. So good to see each and every one of you guys. Yeah, I really hope today's message has hit you in the heart as you require it. And whether or not you're currently in intimate partnership, I just feel reflect on past relationships. See if this could have been something very valuable. See and reflect where, past relationships, took a turn that, just you had to go your separate ways because the trust wasn't there, because the safety, security, because your circle wasn't strong enough yet, right? Like whatever that is for you, just reflect. And I'd love for you to try on these steps if you are in intimate partnership, or take note of them so that when you do enter intimate partnership, you hit it with on the ground running, right? Like with this great intention, with this really high standard for the quality of love that you commit to yourself for, all right? And yeah, I'd love to hear from you as well. And Haru, when will you speak about the My Truth Speak, Your Truth fad? Oh, I don't even know what that is. Will you speak about the My Truth Speak, Your Truth fad? I think you need to educate me on what the hell that is, Haru. I'd love to know more. And you guys know I always love sharing my my perspectives or insights on any of the topics that you guys are interested in. So Haru, I'd be forever grateful if you wanted to share more about what that is and point me to it, and I'd be happy to respond. Absolutely. I love the question. And Ibrahima is here as well. For all of you guys who are just catching up and joining now, please do catch a recording, get a ton of value from today's message. And gotcha. Can I message you? Absolutely. And hey, Barry from Canada, awesome to see you, my friend. Yes, Haru, please do message me. I will look out for your message. You can either message me on Facebook Messenger or on my email, vanessa@vanessajanepatrick.com. I'll look forward to hearing more from you, Haru. Great to have you here. And yes, so that is it. I will put a post out in the coming days that outlines these 6 steps for any of you guys who want to go deeper on this and really want to see how you can apply it to your own partnerships. And look, it's true for any relationship. It doesn't have to be intimate partnership. I just like the realm of intimate partnership because it's the most challenging one in terms of opening up and being, sharing the most of you there, courageous vulnerability. So I just think if you can, get it done and master it in your intimate partnership, it's absolutely going to overflow into all other relationships, friendships, family relationships, you name it. It's definitely going to help and support that. So awesome. Thank you, Haru. Awesome. So much love for each and every one of you guys. Thank you so much for showing up live with me today. I know these messages are kind of random, so I'm always appreciative of whenever you guys can join live and contribute to the conversation. So much love for each and every one of you guys, and I cannot wait to see you soon. Much love.